Welcome into this Friday's edition of One More Minute with McElroy. I'm Wes McElroy on sportsradio910.com. Continuing the show today, an abbreviated version because we had U.S. men's basketball taking on Argentina. But we were joined in studio to end the show, and we want to keep things going with Ronnie Pascal, the goalkeeper of the Richmond Kickers. They play Harrisburg tomorrow night. Gates open at 4 o'clock. And very significant because it's very important for the Kickers and the point standings to make the postseason, and also the last home regular season game of Ronnie Pascal's 13-year career here in Richmond. 13 years. What goes through your mind when I say the last regular season home game of a 13-year career?
It's hard to put into words. It really is. It's been an amazing ride. I've never thought I'd have a place like this that feels like home, and just to get a family and the career I've had and the support, it's been amazing. It really has been.
You think about this. You started this thing 13 years ago. You didn't even have kids. Now you have two. And one of them's 12.
She's 12. She's going into 7th grade.
Wow.
It's incredible to think about it. You know, Richmond's become home. City Stadium's kind of like a second home to me and my family, and everyone knows us there. And you know, the kids love it. My wife, she loves it. She's really going to miss it, even though she tries to not admit it. But it's been a fun ride. The Kickers organization is phenomenal. You know, just the opportunities that they give you to do stuff outside of soccer. The coaching, and you know, I've been very fortunate to have other things I can do to make money in the off season and to really start a life. I think I'm in a unique situation than a lot of other guys. A lot of guys, when they retire, they try to figure out what they're going to do. Well, and, you know, I've got that in place already.
If you think about this, for people who do not know soccer, if you could explain a little bit, 13 years in one place is a long time. A lot of guys will jump clubs, see other opportunities, move around. So, I mean, in your line of soccer, playing at this level, 13 years is really unheard of.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. You don't get guys who've been with one team for that long. You know, especially at our level, you get a lot of organizations that come and go throughout the. I've seen probably 20 or 30 different clubs come and go in the league. That they make it, they're here for a year or two, and then they fold or they take time off. You know, so to be able to land at a club like Richmond, which has that stability, you know, I think there's 3 teams this year celebrating their 20th year anniversary. Richmond's one of them, with Charleston and Charlotte. And even with those places, you get some guys who've played for maybe 8 or 9 years, but to kind of hit that double-digit number is pretty significant. You get guys who, you know, they want to move up to higher levels, they want to move to different cities, they want to, you know, just kind of go out and experience different things. And you know, I've loved every minute that I've been here in Richmond, and I've loved the organization and, you know, everything that Lee and Shelley have done.
This is One More Minute with McElroy on sportsradio910.com. Wes McElroy along with the goalkeeper Ronnie Pascal of the Richmond Kickers. Going to play their final home regular season game tomorrow night against Harrisburg, and it's going to be the final regular season home game for Ronnie Pascal's career. Let me go through some of the numbers here. Starting goalkeeper since 2002, reached 300 games played with the Kickers on July 27. You played more games than any Kickers player in history, logging over 27,000 minutes in a Kickers uniform. Did you break that down into like days, hours, years?
I actually did that. I was bored one day and I was looking at it. I was like, that's a lot of minutes. So I kind of did the quick calculations, and it comes out to like 18 3/4 days.
That's incredible.
So just continuously playing for 18 days. That's awesome.
Take that all into account and add in 3-time USL Goalkeeper of the Year. Which one are you most proud of out of all those stats?
You know, I think it's the games played, to be honest with you. It's, you know, to be able to be that consistent. I've been very lucky not to have a lot of injuries. I think I've only missed 2 or 3 games because of injury in my career, which is kind of crazy. I've played through a lot of stuff. Last year I had a broken thumb for half the season and played through broken wrists and had surgeries.
Seeing how you're the only guy who can use their hands, that's a very big problem.
It hurt. It wasn't an easy one. You know, but I've been lucky. I've been able to have the injuries I've had. I've been able to play through. You know, but just to be able to represent the Kickers that many times and to be a consistent force in the back line, and it's you know, it's been a very fun ride. It's been very humbling for me to be able to have that experience. I still remember my 7th grade health class. My teacher was my varsity soccer coach, and we were going around trying to figure out what people wanted to do when they you know, got older. And I said I wanted to play soccer, and he just kind of laughed at me, and it was kind of cool.
You remember those things, don't you? I remember I was once told I couldn't get into radio unless I started smoking a pack of cigarettes a day because I didn't have the voice. They're the ones that stick with you, though.
Yeah,
they fuel you and they drive you.
Yeah, and I've had coaches even getting recruited say I'd never play Division I soccer because I was too short, and then when I was in college, you never play pro because you're too short, and you know, all you need is an opportunity to kind of prove people wrong.
Yeah. Thanks again, Phil Mushnick of the New York Post. I really appreciated that. Looking back A lot of athletes remember the games. They will miss the action. And not that you get along with every teammate, but I've heard the toughest thing to walk away from is the camaraderie of being with the guys on the road, in practice. Do you think you'll miss it more off the field than on the field?
I think it's going to be both, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The job I have, it's kind of unique. Where the group of guys that I work with are kind of like a team, so I kind of get that camaraderie and the competition in what I do. But that, I think, just the game competition, I think it's going to be tough when I start going to games next year and I'm up in the stands instead of being on the field. That's going to be tough. And like you said, just being with a group of guys for 5 or 6 months that you really get along with and seeing them all the time, it's going to be different. For 30 years I've always had to go to soccer practice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
And if you see Ronnie on the street, don't ask him when he's coming back. Because people already, you haven't even retired yet, and people are asking, so, when are you coming back next year?
So, when you coming back? Oh, 1 more year, 2 more years, don't worry about it. You can do it. But this is it. It's, I've always known it would feel right. And this is...
If I call your house after the second game next year on the air and try to call you out of retirement, no?
Probably not.
It'll make for good radio, though.
It would be fun.
So
I could have fun with you with it.
So.
But no, it's I've always known that I would know when it was time, and it's been a question the last couple of years, and this year it's the right decision. I'm looking forward to it. My body's I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm having a decent year again. The team's having a decent year, but it's getting harder and harder physically, and I don't want to be that guy that stayed around for a year or two too long. And I want to have I want to be able to go on summer vacation with my kids and enjoy those things.
Yeah, it takes a toll on the family.
It
and
does.
I know I've met your wife, and your kids you can see them at every Kickers match, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they have been the biggest supporting cast in this for 13 years.
Yeah, my daughter Tabitha now, she's at the point where she's in middle school. She goes to Hungry Creek, and some of the boys there play soccer for the Kickers Youth Club. So now it's kind of cool that her dad plays. So I think she's going to miss that. My son Braden, he just wants me to go and play with him at games. So he thinks I'm going to be like jumping in the bouncy house and all that fun stuff, sliding down the hill.
Now you can.
So I probably will, but
so well, look to Ronnie's credit. He got me to go to a Kickers match. I've never been to a Kickers game, never been to a soccer game. You got me to come not to one, but two. We watched the World Cup together. We had a lot of fun. I learned a lot about soccer and made a good friend along the way. Yeah. So, hey, look, congratulations on a 13-year career. It's not done yet. 4 o'clock Saturday, a very big contest for the Kickers against Harrisburg. Good luck. You guys need this one.
Thanks, Russ. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy this year. There's 5 teams within 2 points of each other for those last 3 playoff spots. So, it's still, we run out, we get 9 points in our next 3 games, which is a possibility. There's a chance we get a home playoff game, so that would be great.
Not retired yet. Not retired yet.
One more run.
Big one tomorrow. Go to richmondkickers.com for information and come out tomorrow night at 4 o'clock. Gates will open. Good luck to the Kickers. Thanks to Ronnie.
Wes, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
This is 1 more minute with McElroy on sportsradio910.com. Have a great weekend. Go see the Kickers.